And this room also, in particular, has always been a problem. Heating and cooling, it's either too hot or too cold.
Let's call the UW Extension meeting to order, 8:30 on December 2nd. Roll call, 3 members present. Matt was going to join us Zoom, whether he's hooked in or not, I don't know. Ross says he's not at this time, so. I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as published and also approve the minutes from November 4th.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Moved by Gary, second by Chuck to adopt the agenda and approve the November 4th minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carried. Public input. Seeing no one from the public. Educator reports. Everybody should have the written reports from the educators. Any comments or questions on the reports?
I guess I'll start. I tried to go on the farm management webinar series, and you got the 2020 end of year crops and farm finances by Dr. Paul Mitchell. Don't Google Paul Mitchell or you get hair care products, you know. Anyway, but then I tried through YouTube, and I was having some trouble, and I'm sure it's my fault. It's not because I'm not that savvy in the tech area. I guess my question is, I have heard from some farmers in the county a concern because it was a fairly decent year for crops and things of that sort, and but the additional monies that have been gotten because of the COVID situation, that there's some farmers are going to have to pay some pretty big tax bills. Basically made too much money this year.
That very topic is going to be addressed next week on next week's webinar. So the webinar is on Thursday. It's at 1 p.m. And that very topic will be discussed because we knew that was already an issue and people would be concerned about the additional income and the tax on it. Yeah. We have a specialist from the University of Kentucky who's speaking, and again, with this situation, I can email you the links so you don't have to type them in.
Yes, that'd be great.
But these videos will also be recorded and put on YouTube as well. So even if they miss the webinar next week, which is free, they can sign up now. The videos will be available after the webinar is over.
Thank you.
I did see Jill on TV on Saturday
Yay.
and Sunday, 5:30 in the morning.
It's where I like to hang out at 5:30 in the morning with Elaine and Channel 5.
There you go.
Good. I'm glad you saw it. Yeah, we got some really nice coverage on it.
Yep.
We had 99 as of last night, but I just got an email that I'm guessing we're now over 100 participants for that series. So we're really excited that we were able to get that out. Not only it actually extends beyond Brown during Kewaunee, it's extended to other counties in the region and across the state. So we're really excited that people really have found interest and value in continuing these types of programs. So we're very excited to provide those. And we had just wrapped up, as I mentioned in my report, our Explore 4-H series, and that had such a good response. And there was so many young people and families that were excited about that opportunity to take part in another one. So it's been a really great opportunity to share 4-H in a new and creative way and reach new people that maybe wouldn't have been reached. So great recruitment as well as great for working with our families that are already enrolled and involved.
Good. No, it was good. It was good.
Thank
Good
you.
presentation.
Great. Thank you.
Along that line, I guess what I had here was a couple of question concerning these, like re-enrollment numbers in the 4-H
Yep.
program, if they're as strong as what they have been.
They're down a little bit, and I figured they would be, and that's true across the state. We have some families who have chosen to take a year off, but our numbers are actually pretty decent. I was, a little concerned early on, but we are nearing the end of that. We're getting a few stragglers, and I've given people a little bit of grace this year to go past the deadline. So volunteers are following with their clubs. I'd have to look at the exact percentage, but we are going to be down this year. But that's going to be true for any programming in any situation throughout the state. And I think our numbers actually are looking good compared to what I've heard from other colleagues. So I'm hopeful that things will pop back up. And that doesn't include the new members that will enroll until February. So we'll have hopefully some new families that have enrolled. And we did have new families that have enrolled already. So that's always a good positive sign.
And I guess a follow-up on that is, when it comes to all of these programs
Mm-hmm.
that we're doing, how can we, and I don't know, it's just a suggestion here. Here again, I'm trying to advertise how important the
Mhm.
extension programs are. So how can we advertise how many people are getting in, how many people cases don't, when I look at all of these, I see, we've got this and this and this, we did this program, this program, this program. But is there a better way to advertise to people? Or is it impossible? I don't know, to try to advertise the importance of the extension program in our county. That's my, I don't want people saying, well, what does extension do? Okay.
Mhm.
I don't want to hear that, you know? Um, any ideas or,
Yeah. So I know that's one of the reasons we've been so diligent about doing things via multimedia. So social media, email, news, word of mouth, all of those types of things, really trying to get out the word. I know for my program, and I know Erica and Renee have been doing some of the same things, and they can speak to their own programming and the things they've done. But I've, tried to be really diligent about getting out information about programming in multimedia types of ways so that it's not just when we're sending out just an email. So how can we make sure that email programs are being spread far and wide? And I think even that's why we've got some people coming in from other places to join our programs that are outside of what we had for the traditional scope of our programs. And I don't know, Renee and Erica, you could speak to that as well. Yeah.
I am, how can we impress on the county board, the supervisor, the importance of the extension program? I'm not sure that the farmers, the members we have that are in the farming, that they don't, I think they understand
Yeah.
for 4-H, they
Mhm.
have kids or grandkids, whatever. Um, but I think we have quite a few other people that are just maybe not, and unless it's their committee, a lot of times, and we all know that, unless it's our committee, we don't really know or care, unfortunately.
So I've been doing a program with Mullane for over 2 years, and doing a weekly TV spot for extension people. And, she came to me after Farm Tech Days and said, we'd like to have extension on there, more. And so I'd set it up where people could sign up for a topic and a week. And I know Renee's, I think maybe we're going to be on it and something came up, but we've offered it to 4-H and as much as we possibly can. But this is our free advertising to be on that show. I've been on it many, many times, and um, it works great. In fact, that's one of the segments that I won a national program promotional piece for, with extension. So I used my clip from that TV show as part of my program promotional package, and um, it gets good coverage. But again, it's on at 5:30 in the morning
Yeah.
on the weekend. I don't watch it. I DVR it. So,
The other thing is we have a weekly radio sign up. So with WBDK or
EOR,
County Daily
yeah.
News, we each take turns each week sending our radio information to Tim Coles at the radio station. And so this past weekend, he did use my article and he used my voice clip in his radio ad. I didn't hear it whether or not it was played on the radio, but the article is in the newspaper with the voice clip. So that's there, and that we've been doing that on a weekly basis for several years. Aaron has us, sign up for each week, so we each just take a turn that we're sending information to him about our different programs. Plus, we've had the foghorn. Well, now we're calling it the Extension Connection, but all of our county board members receive that, have been receiving that. Whether or not they read it, I don't know, but that is where we try to.
Well, they get this packet too in there.
They should get our
Mhm.
our monthly reports.
You said
yeah.
whether they read it or not, another story.
But I don't think there's any lack of trying to inform the county board members of.
Yeah, and we actually do with Door County Daily News, we do even offshoots. Like, so for this program that when you just mentioned that was with Elaine, Tim also did an article for that, and then in a radio spot too. So, we've gotten some really good coverage. It's just if people are listening to the coverage we've got, right? So it depends on, I think, if we need to be more strategic about those individuals. Is it strategically reaching out to them? Is it, are there things that you think would be helpful to get that information to them? I guess maybe you need to look at it from the reverse side. So if we're not reaching those folks, how can we reach those folks? Is it individually reaching out to them? If they're not going to see media type coverage, how do we make sure we do that? So I think we'd all be open to suggestions about that. So you got some good ideas.
The news program, talk about all the different things, and this is great, but I'm wondering if, you're keeping track of just how many people, and, and then in your area, that's maybe a little touchier subject.
Oh,
because
we
you're
have
talking
numbers.
about-
We've got reports every month. We fill in our recording results system for the state. So I occasionally will include that in my monthly report on giving some numbers on like hours of coursework or number of families enrolled. So I could definitely share that data as well.
All right. I'll shut up.
Just to follow up on your comment about promoting, there's a lot of things too that the extension can do that we don't probably think of locally because we have our ag agents and our human development and our 4-H, but there's all kinds of other things out there that are available through UW Extension, and if that stuff could be promoted also. Because there's a lot of things you talk to people and they say, well, have you talked to anybody from the extension about that? Or have you talked to anybody from Bay Lakes Regional Planning or something like that? That I never thought of that, Because there's a lot of stuff that could be done or people could get assistance or advice from that. I don't know if we take advantage of it. So any type of promotion would be great.
In the county, this just came up in the last couple of days. My wife was looking for something. Well, it's in Ottawa County, but the Peninsula Pulse newspaper.
Yep.
And I think that's a free newspaper.
Yep.
Okay. And like Village Kitchen in Casco used to get a stack of them every week. Okay, when it came out or whenever they come out. They're not getting that anymore. So I don't know if it's their distribution is not going because of the COVID situation, that they're not willing to distribute as far and wide as they used to. I don't see that maybe as a problem with the Kewaunee County paper, which comes by courier into my mailbox every weekend. So I get that, but yeah. I'm always trying to promote as much as I can.
Thank
Mhm.
you for doing
Yep.
that always.
I got a sign out by my driveway in the 4-H.
Yay, awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
Unless the hurricanes don't blow it away.
Well, if they do, I've got another one. So no worries.
Okay, anything else on educator reports? not, we'll move on to Judy, department head.
So there weren't any, so you just basically need to say there weren't any and just put that on record.
At the last meeting, did we approve the new proposed schedule, or were we going to do that today? I think we did it last time, didn't we?
It was proposed or
Yeah.
approved last month.
Okay, thanks.
We usually. Oh. I know we've been discussing that through the years, and I don't know, it used to be the chairman of the committee would sign it, and then the administrator. And then I don't know if we just went with the administrator we thought was fine.
I think we did because Scott said, well, I have to sign it because I remember initially that I don't think he ended up signing it. I think it was just the committee chairman and the area director or something. I don't remember. I can.
You want formally a motion to authorize you to do that?
Sure.
I'll move that our chairman, Tom Rumdum, sign the contract.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded that the committee chairman sign the contract for agents. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carried. Let's see.
Thank you.
Just a thought on that. I mean, as far as the state and as far as financing goes, I mean, I know the state isn't like Kewaunee County, but as far as from our sales tax collections for the county, we're actually ahead of last year.
Yep.
So COVID really did not hurt us. Now, I know it's not the same all over the place, and I know the state's getting a shortfall, but I mean, it kind of remains to be seen because you're coming into or you have the Christmas season here, which, you know, some people may buy more and ship it and because they can't, it's hard to say. I mean, until January or February before you get those numbers, we may not be quite as bad off as what, you know, as a state level.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I guess you could just cross your fingers and hope.
And Door County would be similar to Kewaunee County. Their sales tax revenue that they brought in is very high. They've had a really, really good year, as shared by their county administrator. So Brown County, we're in a different boat, both with room tax and sales tax. We'll see how the sales tax is. We know definitely the room tax is down. So I think it'll be interesting. I agree with you after the first year to get a better sense of where the state's at financially. Also, too, we are planning for Door Kewaunee Legislative Days. I have met with the county administrators from Door and Kewaunee County. The serve, and so Erin here is working on the website for the event. We have a survey that's been designed that she's got into that I sent to both county administrators last night for them to take a look, which will allow for the collection of issues. So we're hoping to get that out in late December and then spend the month of January collecting those. The county administrator here is going to then write them up. And we are going to meet in later in this month to start the next phase of planning. So this is kind of the issue collection is really the first phase, and then moving on to what needs to happen after that. Keeping all options open at this point, whether it's virtual or face to face. May need to think about if it is face to face, maybe taking less people or finding places to meet with staffers other than their offices, because as you're all aware, there many of those staff offices, particularly if they're in the assembly, are pretty tiny. It seems like the senators have larger offices, so may have to do things if it is face to face, things will probably look a little bit different. Otherwise, we'll aim for virtual if it doesn't look like the COVID numbers are going down. But at this point, are keeping both options open, and it says that on the website is that, more information will come on the logistics and details of this event. So we're working on it.
Sounds good.
So hopefully the survey, we've talked about ways to get it out broad and, how widely we can cast it through the two counties to get those issues identified. And then also asking too, for those who submit issues, are they willing to be the lead on that issue? So we'll see, but we are moving forward. So you will be getting notice soon that survey tool after we meet a little bit later this month is open and want to collect ideas for issues. So I think that's pretty much what I have to report.
Are they thinking about legislative days in late April or May or
Yes.
in that time frame
Yes,
someplace?
yes. So it would be late April into May. And if we get into May and there's a vaccine, they can get it distributed, that might be a potential to be able to do more face to face. And I think, and we've also talked about with the agencies, having the agency people come to like the hotel and have the meeting rooms there so that we're not moving people all the time, that it will be like one person coming in rather than moving a whole group elsewhere. So we're trying to minimize the amount of movement as much as possible if we do go face to face. So more need for meeting rooms at the hotel, but that way I think it'll be a little bit safer. So starting to think about how we can be cautious with the COVID and what precautions we need to take. And thinking too, we've had conversations, I know both Door and Kewaunee County want to bring young people. So is that feasible? And if so, what do we need to do to make certain that they stay safe and that their parents or caregivers are okay with them? So any suggestions you have in regards to what we can do to be more cautious if we're able to do it face to face would be great. Otherwise, if it, numbers don't go down, we'll probably have to look at virtual, which isn't the same as sitting in a room face to face with somebody when you have concerns or asking for additional dollars for the counties. So we'll see. But we're working on it.
Yeah.
And we do have a timeline put together of what needs to be done when, so we stay pretty much on task. So website and the survey are critical.
Have you or the administrators at all talked with Joel Kitchens or Andre Jacques as far get a little input from them? I mean, as far as how things are going to go down there.
We haven't. We're kind of curious to see if they're going to start their legislative session face to face or if it'll be virtual, like when they start in February. So we're kind of curious to see what's going to happen, but we haven't. But I certainly can have the two administrators make connections with some of our key elected officials and see what their sense is. And then we can go from there. But we haven't, done a block of rooms yet or any of that. We don't want to make too many commitments until we have a better sense of what's going on. So.
Anything else, Judy?
I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. Next meeting dates, I think we've already set January 6th. If we look at February, it would be February 3rd. If those are acceptable.
Fine with me.
Okay. Anything else to come before the committee? If not, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved by Chuck, seconded by Gary to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none. We are adjourned at 8:55.
Thank you all for what you do.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks
Good
for your
Christmas.
support.
Have a
You
good
guys
Christmas,
too.
everybody. Probably won't see you before that. So enjoy it if we can.
Good holiday season.
Yes. Yeah, the educators have been busy. We'll see how the kits go on Friday. So
Yeah, we get to assemble those on Friday, so that should be good. But I know that, like I just said, I had two more that it just said that they registered this morning. So who knows what we're gonna end up at.